dear colleagues, dear supporters of AFSI, thank you so much for welcoming me here today. For me, being here is not just part of my work, it is something deeply personal. It is a chance to share with you not only what we do as AFSI in Ukraine, but also who I am, where I come from, and why this mission speaks so profoundly to my heart. I speak to you today as Ruslan Isayev, the country representative of AFSI in Ukraine. But first of all, I am a humble Ukrainian citizen, a person who grew up in Poltava, the city where our AFSI office stands today. My roots are here, my childhood, my memories, and my sense of home. And today I witness my country, my city, my people facing the Second Great War in my family's history. When I reflect on this year's tender campaign theme, Peace as a Humble Path, I think immediately of my dear grandmother. Her name is Lyubov, which translates into English as simple as love. She was a small girl during the Second World War when Poltava was occupied. She, her brother, and her mother, my dear grandmother, survived by hiding in the forest for months. With nothing but a cow that provided milk, they slept in the cold, feared every sound, and endured hunger and uncertainty. She thought that watching children live through what she hoped would never return. When the air alarms sound today, she often says to me, "I hoped your generation would never know this." Her words remind me of how fragile peace is and how sacred. The fragility is present every day in Ukraine. Peace is no longer something abstract. It is something we feel in every breath. It is measured not in political decisions or international agreements, but in very simple things. In a quiet morning, in the absence of air sirens, in children's laughter, in the ability to sleep through the night. It is small, humble moments that carry the greatest meaning. Not long ago, after a night of heavy aerial attacks in Odessa, I went to our community centers that locates there. And when I visited it, all the windows in the area were destroyed from the explosion's impact. Yet the children came to our center. They always come. A 6-year-old boy, Sasha, ran to one of our educators holding a drawing. On it he had painted a house, a tree, and a sun. And below he wrote, "Today I want a quiet day." No mention of war, no dramatic words, just a humble wish for calm. That sentence touched me deeply. It reminded me that peace in Ukraine today is exactly that, a quiet day. And my own mornings begin like those of millions of Ukrainians. Before opening my curtains at my apartment, I check my phone as a simple routine now to make sure that my family, my friends, and my colleagues are all safe. Nothing happened. Then I check if we have electricity today. Sometimes it's available for a few hours, sometimes not at all. As for now, we live with up to 16 hours of outages. The heating is unstable, water supply to our houses is unstable as well, and winter is quite close, just a week away. Many families cook now by flashlight or candles, and they warm only one room because nothing can be taken for granted today. And yet life continues, people continue. They work, raise their children, rebuild what is destroyed, and hold on to hope with incredible strength. It's a good example. I like that my fiancée, she's an elementary school teacher. Her name is Katya. The same name as my grandmother, circle of life, I would say. Her experience says so much about courage of Ukrainian educators. Many times she has had to give lessons underground in bomb shelters during air alerts. Many times, explosions were close by the school. And I have been many times in the bomb shelter for school. As many other schools, quite similar situation, children sitting on tiny chairs, surrounded by concrete walls, lit by generators' lamps. The air is full of dust. And still she teaches them to read, to count, to sing. She teaches them that lives go on, that even underground learning continues. And I believe this is a humble path of peace. Through AFSI, I witness this humility and resilience every day. In Zaporizhia, Kharkiv, Kherson, and Sumy, I believe many of these names you heard over the news. That's where our community is located, community centers. They give children spaces to learn, play, and recover parts of their childhood. Many of them never had a chance to attend kindergartens. Their early years were marked first by pandemic, as you all remember, then by war now. Yet in our center, they draw, sing, make friends, and rediscover a simple joy. On the other hand, in Mykolaiv, Dnipro, and Odessa, we accompany families who fled with very little, sometimes only a plastic bag. Throughout psychosocial support, group activities, and educational programs, we help them rebuild their routines, their dignity, their sense of stability. Quite often parents tell us, "Here, my child smiles again." Every one of those smiles is a small act of peace. We support teachers, psychologists, and social workers who are the backbone of the communities, I believe. They're exhausted, but they continue. Through training and capacity building, we help them accompany families and maintain this social fabric that keeps communities strong. We also invest in youth and vocational education because giving young people a future in a time of uncertainty is quite essential. Hope is not something abstract, it's something that must be built. Sometimes people ask me if these actions that we are doing now, they're quite small compared to the scale of the war here. And my answer is no. These actions are exactly what keeps society alive. Peace is not created in a single moment. It is created step by step, relationship by relationship, through thousands of small gestures. It is created when dignity is restored and when people feel seen and supported. And this is why your support here in Italy is so incredibly meaningful for us. You help make these small gestures possible. You help create spaces where children feel safe, where parents feel understood, where teachers feel supported, where families regain their dignity again. You show us that we are not alone, that for us is a source of immense strength. From my heart, and on behalf of my colleagues here, and the children and families we accompany, thank you so much. Thank you for your compassion, for your generosity, and for simply choosing to walk with us, step by step, on this humble path towards peace. Peace will not arrive with a single gesture, after all, but together, with humility and courage, we are already building it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sì. Thanks so much, Ruslan. Abbiamo adesso la traduzione disponibile. Non sei tu, vero Maria? Ci arriva la traduzione dalla regia.
Cari amici,